At its peak, Theranos was seen as a breakthrough in medical. Theranos wasn't built on great technology. It was built on confidence, authority, and silence. For years, the company claimed it could run hundreds of medical tests from a single drop of blood. It couldn't, but almost no one checked. Investors believed Theranos because everyone else did. Former secretaries of state, generals, powerful politicians. No one wanted to be the first to ask a simple question. Does this actually work? By the time that question was finally asked, the company was worth $9 billion. This is the story of Theranos and how belief replaced evidence in Silicon Valley. Part 1. The Promise. Elizabeth Holmes founded Theranos in 2003. She was 19 years old, a Stanford dropout, and deeply inspired by Steve Jobs. Not just by his success, but by his image. The black turtlenecks. The minimalist language. The idea that confidence itself could move markets. Her vision sounded revolutionary. Traditional blood tests require large samples, needles, and centralized labs. Holmes claimed Theranos could run the same tests using just a few drops of blood faster, cheaper, and more convenient. If true, this would have changed healthcare. And that's why the idea mattered more than the details. Most early investors didn't understand the science, but they understood the narrative. In Silicon Valley, a powerful story is often treated as early proof. Part 2. Rapid growth without validation. Theranos raised hundreds of millions of dollars. Interestingly, many traditional venture capital firms passed. They asked technical questions. They wanted data. Instead, Theranos attracted wealthy individuals and political figures, people who trusted reputation over verification. The board of directors included former U.S. secretaries of state, military leaders, and influential policymakers. Impressive resumes. Almost no medical expertise. This mattered. Boards are supposed to challenge founders. At Theranos, no one had the knowledge or the incentive to ask hard questions. Authority replaced oversight. Part 3. Media and the illusion of legitimacy. Media attention accelerated everything. Elizabeth Holmes became a Silicon Valley icon. Magazine covers, conference stages, endless praise. Most journalists assumed someone else had already verified the technology. That assumption is dangerous. When trust is delegated, marketing turns into credibility. Theranos partnered with major pharmacy chains, promising in-store blood testing. From the outside, the company looked real. Inside, engineers struggled. The machines produced inconsistent results. Quality controls failed. Instead of slowing down, the company doubled down on appearances. Image became more important than accuracy. Part 4. Culture of silence. Employees who raised concerns were ignored, isolated, or removed. Some were threatened with legal action. Others were told they didn't understand the vision. This is how silence becomes policy. When leaders treat doubt as disloyalty, problems don't disappear. They just go unreported. At Theranos, fear replaced transparency. And for a while, the illusion held. Because silence scales faster than truth. Part 5. When reality catches up, the collapse didn't start with regulators. It started with insiders. A small group of employees spoke to investigative journalists. They shared documents. They explained how the technology actually worked. Or more accurately, how it didn't. Reports revealed that Theranos secretly relied on traditional lab machines for many tests. The core promise was false. Once evidence appeared, everything unraveled quickly. Regulators stepped in. Partnerships collapsed. Investors realized they had trusted confidence instead of proof. Part 6. The Fall. By 2018, Theranos was finished. The company shut down. Elizabeth Holmes was charged with fraud. The $9 billion valuation disappeared. Not gradually. Almost overnight. Because belief can inflate value, but evidence ultimately controls it. Part 7. Business lessons. Theranos wasn't just a healthcare failure. It was a systems failure. 3 lessons matter most. First, a great story is not validation. Narratives can attract capital, but only working products sustain trust. Second, authority bias shuts down critical thinking. When powerful people endorse something, others stop asking questions. Third, cultures that punish doubt destroy feedback. And without feedback, failure becomes inevitable. Theranos didn't collapse because of one lie. It collapsed because too many people chose not to look. Ending. Theranos wasn't an accident. It was the predictable outcome of confidence without accountability. And that's why its story still matters.